Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this sort of deck tech of Urza Chief Artificer. I know he comes in a precon, but we haven't seen the actual deck. But these are a couple of things that I know are for sure going into my deck when they get them. I absolutely love artifacts. My first deck ever in Magic was Osgir, the Reconstructor. That was an artifact deck. And then shortly after I made Brea, I've been artifacts since day one. Now, my absolute favorite combo to pull off is either Dakon Shadowslayer into a Blightsteel Colossus or a Kodoltha Forge Master into a Blightsteel. Oh my god. Any way to cheat out a Blightsteel is beyond me. I love Blightsteel. I literally have his figurine on my desk. I love this card. This card is like the win condition in most of my artifact decks. He is a one-hit kill. This thing is an absolute monster. There's a couple ways to cheat him out. Obviously, one is Kodoltha Forge Master. You sack 3 artifacts, and you can literally get any artifact in your deck onto the battlefield. That is ridiculous. That ability is... I can sacrifice 3 1/1 Thopters. Or Urza himself, he makes constructs. Even though you don't really want to be sacrificing those constructs because he wants you to swing with these 3 10/10s because you have a bunch of artifacts. That's the point, because he gives your things menace and everything and is just disgusting. So you don't want to be sacking those, but you can sacrifice artifact lands, Thopters, doesn't matter. It's disgusting. The next one is Dakon Shadowslayer. He enters the battlefield with a certain number of loyalty counters equivalent to the number of lands you have. So usually, once I get to 6 lands and he's in my hand, and I have a Blightsteel in my hand, of course. If I don't have a Blightsteel, I'm not going to do this. I do this. I only cast him if I know I'm putting down something meaty with him. If not, he stays in my hand. But that ability is nasty. The next one is Master Transmuter. Obviously, if you already have a Blightsteel in your hand, which since Urza is Esper, we do have access to some black tutors, which will help us get Blightsteel into our hand. So we can do that. Transmuter, you can literally return a Soul Ring to your hand and then drop a Blightsteel. This is disgusting. Alright, now moving on to ways you can swing with Blightsteel and things you can do to help win faster. Obviously, your first shot out is Phyrexian Metamorph. It's ridiculous. You just copy a Blightsteel, 2 Blightsteels. I think the most Blightsteels I've ever had on the battlefield was 4. Because I had Spark Double, Clever Impersonator, Phyrexian Metamorph. My god, 4 Blights. And you know what? I still lost the game. Can you believe that? Oh my god. It was in the Braids video. You gotta check it out. Alright, moving on. Obviously, Phyrexian Metamorph, you get multiple Blightsteels. Now, another way is through Arkham Dagson, which this thing's disgusting. You sacrifice, you tap him, you sacrifice an artifact creature. Could be a Thopter, could be a Servo, could be a Construct, could be a Blightsteel, if you're delusional. And you can get any non-creature artifact onto the battlefield. Any non-creature artifact. You could get Darksteel Forge, make all your artifacts indestructible. Obviously, if you have a Blightsteel in the battlefield, you don't want this. When you have a Blightsteel in the battlefield, this is what you're going to want to get, which is a Chroma's Memorial, which basically gives your creatures every ability in the game, every keyword. What is it? Flying, haste, vigilance, trample, protection from red and black. I usually either put that down first or a Blightsteel and go get the other one with a Kodoltha Forge Master. Yeah, I end up completely board wiping my board, but I have won so many games off this combo in literally 1 turn. So basically, Kodoltha Forge Master in somebody's end step before you turn, get a Blightsteel or a Chroma's Memorial, and then on your turn, you do Kodoltha Forge Master again to get the other one, and yeah, that's how it works. Now that we've gotten out of the Blightsteel portion of this video, it's an artifact deck. You're going to have your value and stuff. Obviously, Esper Sentinel, Smothering Tithe, these are great commander staples that are amazing, especially for artifacts that have a lot of synergy. Esper Sentinel is an artifact creature himself. Smothering Tithe makes treasure tokens, which are artifacts, so they will help the constructs made by Urza. And then you're going to go with some cost reducers like Foundry Inspector, Ethereum Sculptor. Obviously, you don't have access to some of the red ones because Urza's not in red, but I'm going to make a video about Mishra because I'm going to be building both decks because this is amazing. This set's awesome for an artifact lover. Another quick shout, Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. This card has, like, won me the game. Yeah, it's won me the game. Because late game, you have like 10, 11 artifacts down, you drop him, and then he just deals 10, 11 damage to each opponent, and then you gain 10, 11. Like, I've used his ultimate once. His ultimate isn't great. I'm going to be honest. You should just keep using the +2, +2, +2. Like, and then, obviously, that ability is disgusting. And then he gives creatures and planeswalkers affinity for artifacts. If I have 12 artifacts on the battlefield, that is a free Blightsteel Colossus. Like, are you kidding me? I should also shout out, because I feel bad. Blightsteel's less handsome cousin, Darksteel Colossus. Only difference is he doesn't have Infect, but this is still a meaty boy. Let's be honest here. You could also run Metalwork Colossus, which I believe that has affinity for artifacts built into it already. It's an 11/11 that costs 11. It costs X less, where X is the number of artifacts you control. That's a good one. It's, you know, to flow with the constructs. Obviously, you want things that are going to buff your constructs and help in combat. Obviously, Chroma's Memorial is the best one. Tempered Steel will also buff them. It's not amazing, Tempered Steel, but it is good if you have nothing else to play at that point. Some removal that can get rid of other things that aren't artifact creatures is obviously Organic Extinction. Destroy all non-artifact creatures, and it has Improvise. But if I'm going to cast this, I'm usually going to be swinging all my artifact creatures at somebody, possibly to win the game. There's a new board wipe that came out with the Warhammer stuff. I think it's called Their Name is Death. Don't quote me on it. I don't know. I'm just talking into a microphone right now. I believe that also destroys all non-artifact creatures. So you can cast these in your main phase, and I think it also costs cheaper than Organic Extinction. So you might want to run that one in Mishra and Urza, which I'll probably do. These decks are going to be expensive, but yeah. So that's basically it. Oh, wait. Oh my god, I totally forgot. Urza, Lord High Artificer himself, one of the most saltiest commanders in all of Magic. He literally, when he enters, you make a construct, and you can tap an untapped artifact and make blue mana. And his last ability, pay 5, shuffle your library, exile the top card of your library, you may cast it for free that turn. Like, obviously, he's going to go in the 99. He's disgusting. And some more flavor, Urza's Saga. I'm probably going to put this land in Mishra and Urza because it makes sense. You're tuning artifacts and you're making constructs. Maybe not in Mishra so much, but in Urza for sure, because you can make constructs and then you can get something like a Shadow Spear. I think Shadow Spear is a great shout because it gives trample and lifelink. You can give trample to your 13/13 construct that can be blocked by a 1/1. Now you put trample on it, not really much you can do. And that would go great. This card is, I believe it to be a little under the radar, but it came in my Osgir Precon and I've loved it ever since. Bronze Guardian. This card is like a sleeping giant. It has double strike. It gives your artifacts, it gives your artifact creatures or artifacts ward. I think it's other artifacts you control have ward too. That's what I believe. And his power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. So if you have a bunch of constructs, and let's say you have 9 artifacts, including all the constructs, he is a 9/5 with double strike. And let's say you give him Shadow Spear, a Chroma's Memorial. He's got trample, so he kills a creature first hit, and then he hits them for 9, or the player you're attacking for 9 on the second hit. Like, this card is great. I have this card. People don't think, oh, it's all right. But when it starts going off and I start swinging at people for like 18 damage with trample, then it becomes a problem. You're also going to want to protect your artifacts, because there's one card that's always absolutely ruined me. My friends have literally put this in their decks when they could, just because of me. And that is Vandal Blast. Oh my god, that is my biggest fear in Magic the Gathering, is a Vandal Blast. That card destroys my life. It wipes all artifacts. Your opponent's control, not yours, just your opponent's. So me with like 90% of my board being artifacts, it's just, I just get neutered. That card neuters me. So, I mean, Teferi's Protection is the best protection spell in the game, that's for sure. But you can also have things... I mean, Padim won't save you against a Vandal Blast, but it'll help off maybe like a Swords to Plowshares or a Path to Exile targeting your Blightsteel or your Darksteel. Like, that has happened to me before. I put all this work, I nuked my board, I got my Blightsteel down, and then my friend Brandon's like, Swords to Plowshares? And then I strangle him. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that happens to me a lot. You are going to get exposed to the Exile, but if you can give him Hexproof, what are the chances that somebody has Exile all creatures? Like, I mean, a Farewell has become probably one of the best board wipes in the game. Last but not least, this combo with Urza Lord Protector and the Mightstone and Weakstone is going in this deck for sure. I want to use this Urza Planeswalker so bad. This Planeswalker is absolutely filthy. And plus, the Urza Lord Protector, he makes my artifacts cost 1 less. He's helping me. The only downside is I have to pay 7 when I have that and the Mind Stone. But I like this combo, I'm already like salivating. No, I saw this combo and I was like, oh, I really hope there's another Urza commander that I can use, because this one's only Azorius. I was like, maybe we can use one more color and it could be nasty. Thankfully, we now have Urza Chief Artificer, which this slots into perfectly. I'm so excited for this deck. You have no idea. I've already started to buy a couple of cards. They're coming in. When the 99 of the Precon gets released, I'm going to do a whole new updated deck list, and I'm going to show you what my deck is going to look like. First time build. I don't know if I make changes to it later, it'll be in the deck list. But yeah, just keep on the lookout for this video. Well, obviously, if you're watching this, you don't have to keep a lookout for it unless you want to watch it again. I'm going to make a video on Mishra, because I think his ability is really cool and unique. And he has red. And there's this nice little red combo that I like to use in my artifact decks that I want to share with you guys. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. And I hope you guys have a nice day. Enjoy your week. And I'll see you guys in the next video.